What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Day after LS Fest, got home last night, got the truck pulled in the garage under its own power, but it is hurt. If you guys haven't watched the video at LS Fest, basically we hurt the motor on the second pass, day 2 on Saturday. Go back, watch the video, but if you haven't, yeah, we hurt the motor. I'm gonna be tearing into it today to see exactly what happened. I have a pretty good idea. Cylinder number 3 is dead. There's probably a hole in the piston, or it's burnt or something. Possible other cylinders hurt too, but number 3 is the worst. Before we do that, I'm gonna do a little bit of a recap. So Friday, there was a big rain delay. It rained most of the morning, and I think by the late afternoon, like 1 or 2, we started racing. And Friday was supposed to be test and tune and then 1 qualifying pass. So went up, did the test pass, and that was when the boost controller wasn't working. It hit like 26 or something, 27 pounds of boost. Hit boost cut because I had a safety in there, and it popped. And then, well, actually before all that happened, as soon as I launched, the back of the water pump, there's a housing right behind the impeller. That part is pressed in. Well, that pushed out. Not exactly sure what caused that. Everyone was kind of thinking maybe the head gasket was, hurt, so it was putting pressure into the cylinder. But prior to LS Fest, I put my pressure tester on the cooling system just to check for any leaks before we left. And I left it on there overnight, and it didn't leak down at all. So if a head gasket was bad, it would have leaked down, put water in the cylinder, but none of that happened. So I don't think the head gasket was bad. I think it's just a cheap part, and that thing just kind of fell out. But we were able to get the water pump fixed, and then, but back to the run. So water pump, back of the water pump falls out, puts water all over the track. I didn't realize it. Truck gets a little bit loose, and still I don't realize that it's the water under the tires. I just thought the track was terrible. So I get back in it because I want some data. It hits, boost cut, pops, and then I get back into it again, and then that time it hit even more boost and sheared the wing nut right off of the stud on the carb hat, knocked the carb hat into the bottom of the hood and broke the hood. So after that, I was like, it's done. So go back to the pits, find out what happened, and fix the water pump, make some adjustments to the tune, and then basically that was the end of it. We missed the qualifying pass because we were trying to fix the water pump, and then by the time we got it all put back together, they were done running for the day. So next day, Saturday, get up, make some adjustments to the tune, change the boost controller to like an open loop style where it's just duty cycle, and go up and try and make a pass. And that's when I think it went really lean. It was still making way more boost than I wanted to. I looked down and glanced at it and saw 20 pounds again, and I think it was super lean, but unfortunately it didn't record any data, so I don't have any data on the run where it hurt. But about right as we crossed the 8th mile mark, it just poof, let out a bunch of smoke. Pushed the dipstick out of the tube, put oil all over the windshield, put some oil on the exhaust, smoked, and this time I pulled over because I knew there was something wrong. So I pulled over, and it was clattering pretty bad too. So they towed me back to the pits, and that was basically the weekend. We didn't make any more hits or anything else after that because we knew it was hurt. Pretty sure piston number 3 is melted. So with all that being said, LS Fest wasn't a huge success by any means. It was still fun. Still got to watch all of my friends go out. All the guys from Hack Job go out and hit personal bests. Almost all of them hit a personal best this weekend. Gabe with the twin turbo 3rd gen. Even Hector in the C10 hit a personal best. All of those guys. Unfortunately, Alex with the white Firebird, was unable to get his car there. He had some problems on the dyno the day before we left, and he just decided it wasn't worth it to rush it. He'd been rushing it for so long. He didn't want to rush it anymore and end up hurting something. So he left that home and brought his girlfriend's daily Camaro out there and was making some passes in it. So fun weekend overall. Not a good weekend for racing, but still fun weekend. Like I always say, a bad day of racing is better than a good day of work. So we're gonna get tearing into this thing. I'm gonna pull the heads off. Gonna see if it's fixable or if we just need to throw a whole new engine in it. So let me set up a time lapse of this tear down and then we'll get back to it. I'll let you guys know exactly what I find. Well, it doesn't look, oh, there it is. Now I see it. I was gonna say, it doesn't look as bad as I thought, but if we can get in here, there's the problem right there. Chunk of the piston's gone. But that looks like the only one. On this side, oh, that one almost. Something going on with that one about, it's got a crack in it. But hopefully, oh, yeah, the bore's pretty scraped up. But I might be able to fix it. As long as there's not a hole in it. Yeah, she got a little toasty in there. I think it just broke the ringland. I don't think it melted it, but because this one back here, it's cracked. Like the ring's butted up. Tried to break the ringland. Wonder if this can just be fixed. Let's see if I can turn it over and look at it a little better. I don't know if it's worth fixing or if I should just put a 6.0 in it. What do you guys think? Spend the money to fix this or just find another junkyard 6.0? There, you can get a little bit better view of it. But no, it looks like it melted. Didn't look like it. It's not a clean break. It's melted. So pretty sure it went lean. And then it just went downhill from there. The head gasket seems to look okay. Doesn't look like it pushed it out anywhere. This thing is studded. I do have ARP head studs, but I had to take them out because the head was hitting the firewall. So I had to take the studs out in order to get the head off. So it is studded. These are just stock 5.3 head gaskets, but yeah, it doesn't really look like anywhere that it was pushing out anything, so I don't think that the boost pressure was getting into the cooling system, causing the water pump. This is what pushed out. This ring right here, it just presses in. And Nani actually noticed like a month ago that there was a little bit of a gap, and like it had already been pushed out. And I just reached down in there with a pry bar and pushed it back in and didn't think anything of it, but it finally pushed out. And at the track, we just put some goop on there and pressed it back in, and it held. So, but I don't think the boost was going into the cooling system pushing it out. I think it was just a cheap pump failure. The cylinder wall doesn't look too bad. Up here on top, it's a little scuffed. I don't think it's not repairable. I definitely think I could take it out, take it to a machine shop, and they could bore it and clean it up, but I just don't know if it's worth it. Here's how the cylinder head looks. Not too bad. Bunch of piston material there on the valves. Probably didn't damage it too much. Probably be cleaned up. But surprisingly enough, the electrode is still on the spark plug. I thought for sure that that would be gone, but not too terrible. We'll save these for something else down the road maybe. You guys may have noticed, if you've been watching the channel for a while, that anytime I have an opportunity to fix something, but anytime I have to fix something, I use that opportunity to upgrade. And I feel like it's not really worth the money to put into this 5.3 block when for probably the same amount of money I could find a 6.0 or a 6.2 or, you know, something aluminum block, even Gen 4. So I don't know, we'll keep our eye out on potential new engines and kind of figure out what we're gonna do. It's not gonna be anytime soon because spent all that money to go to LS Fest. Didn't win anything back. I wasn't really planning on it. The LS truck class was way outgunned for me. Those trucks were so fast. If you guys have ever heard of Flacco Performance out of Texas, yeah, he was in the class. And then Kenny Johnson out of California, he's got a little blue like 84, 85, 80s S10, and those two were in the finals, and both of those trucks move. I mean, Flacco's been what, 390s in his car in the 8th. Him and Kenny were neck and neck in the final. Man, both those guys are flying. I would nowhere come close to that, but it would have been fun to at least maybe go a round or two, but we didn't. We hurt the motor. That's racing. It happens. You can't get discouraged over it. You know, it's going to happen to everyone. All you can do is really fix it and come back out stronger the next time. So we'll consider our options. Try and find, like I said, I'd really like to find an aluminum block 6.0 or 6.2, something like that, an LS2, something of that nature, but they can be pretty expensive and I got to save up some more money. So it might be a while before we get an engine back in the S10 and going. Really the only next event that I have planned that I really want to go to is the duct tape drags again in Tucson, and that's not until September. But we'll try and get something going, try and keep some more content for you. I got a Turbo 350 trans I got to put together for my buddy George, and there's always something going on between here and Hack Jobs and, you know, all my other buddies. So we'll try and figure out some content in the meantime while the S10's down. But until then, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, share these videos with your friends, and I'll see you guys on the next one.